Hello and welcome. In today's reading, we are going to ask, what is their first impression of you? And you could be asking about anyone that's been on your mind, platonic, romantic, anything in between. Whoever you're asking about, we're going to find out what their first impressions of you are or have been in the past. So, yeah, let's get into the reading. Okay, so I think first off is that their first impression of you is that you're actually quite a confident person. Whether that's true or something that you believe or not, that's what they are gathering. I think that they see that you're a very creative person, you're a very intuitive person, you're the kind of person that acts on a gut feeling. Like you're more like I can't remember which side of the brain, but you're more like right sided brain, like you're less logical, you're more like trusting the emotions. And I think they see that you have a lot of faith and hope in things as a person. You're more positive thinking, you have a positive outlook on life. And yeah, and because of these beliefs, you seem to just like have a more grounded sense of self compared to other people. They can also gather from your energy that you do confine your personality a little bit to kind of fit the needs of the social group. So you like could be a people pleaser and they could kind of sense that that's what you're doing. I don't think they're judging you for it, but that's just something that they notice. Or they can sense that like you've just been through a point of your life, maybe like many years ago, where you've been like confined in some way, or you've like been stuck somewhere in life that has really shaped you as a person. I think that they're actually also a very an intuitive person, and just from meeting you the first time or whatever, so that they can pick up on these deeper parts of you. I think they can really tell that you're like an ever changing kind of person where you're very fluid in the way that you interact with people, very fluid in, you know, like you may change how you are acting towards people, or your energy level may shift very differently day to day. So it's like maybe the 2 or 3 times that they've met you or whatever, they kind of notice that you're in very different energetics, and you're not like stagnant, like you're not like in the same vibe or like in the same sort of personality every single time that they see you. So that's something that they've picked up on. I think they can also tell that you have a very deep sense of knowing of yourself. You know yourself really well and you're good at knowing other people. I think they can also see that you would be the one to like be the more initiative, like take initiative, take the first step in things because of your self-confidence. Like you're going to like if you want to like be friends with someone or tell your opinion or like ask someone out or something, you're going to be the one to do that. They can kind of sense that. And then, yeah, I think that they can kind of tell that you are sending them a silent invitation to be like, yeah, like, get to know me better. Even if you, like, perhaps you even said, like, hey, I want to get to know you better. Or, like, oh, you're such an interesting person. Like, we should hang out. You know? I think they're kind of sensing that you're asking something of them and you're inviting them into your world. And it's like you're telling them it's up to you if you want me in your world, because I'm not gonna like you're the type of person that's not gonna like go for something when you know like both sides aren't equally into the idea of like pursuing whatever it is that you want to pursue. Another interesting thing is that we have the deception card. So it feels like not that you're like maliciously deceiving the person, but again, with your people pleasing or whatever, where your like personality seems to shift around and it's very fluid, they feel a little bit deceived, like they don't really know who you are. And it feels like you haven't shown certain sides of yourself, or you haven't, or they don't know like the true essence of yourself. And they feel like, okay, so I'm getting more messages about you having like a high self esteem with the Magnolia card, where it's an ability and self esteem. There's actually a quote from Ernest Hemingway that says, "There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self." So, yeah, I think they can tell that you're genuinely like a good person, and you don't have like a superiority complex or anything like that, and that you see people as your equals and like respect people even if like you don't like them. that seems like that's kind of how they're viewing you as a person, is like, okay, you have like self-respect towards yourself and also towards others. And then there's also always joyful. It says, write on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. So they could have seen you or perceived you in like very joyful moments where you seem to be very happy and like gregarious and friendly, and you just seem like a very upbeat person, a very sunshiny person. That's something else that they could have noticed. And then we also have lilac with first emotions of love, and the quote is, love is the magician that pulls man out of his own hat. So they could sense that maybe you're experiencing emotions that you haven't before experienced yet in your life, not necessarily towards them, but just in your life in general, or like with the people that you're interacting with, if you're interacting with them with other people around or in a group setting. I think they can sense that there's something definitely new, um, about your energy, something that you're not used to experiencing or feeling. So it could even be that you're even like meeting new people around them, or you're at like a new job around them where it's like you're in a environment that you are not quite comfortable with yet, or you don't are not familiar with yet. It's very much like this is the first time that you've ever experienced this experience, and they could sense that you really love this environment and you've never experienced an environment like this, and that you're really enjoying yourself. Okay, I just like pulled some tarot and we got some like really interesting stuff. We have the Emperor, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Nine of Wands, and then we also have the Hermit. I think that they can sense that you're like a very private person, that you need a lot of alone time in order to have the energy that you have to go out in the world and interact with people. And I think I'm getting this very much like there's a duality to you that they sense, that you can be very high energy, but then very low energy, and very much just like in your own space, in your own mind. Yeah, like the Emperor and the Hermit is like such a strong like combination of cards, I feel like. Because again, like the Emperor, that's really giving like that you have a really strong sense of self, so you have security within yourself. You feel like they seem to sense that you have like good foundations in place of your life. And like this Emperor, like the colors are so colorful. Like I'm not used to seeing like the Emperor card in such like a positive, like fun loving, bright light. So you could be like you kind of notice that you have a certain like people might respect you a lot or look up to you in some way, or view you as like put you on a pedestal or something like that. Yeah, but they can also sense that like underneath this kind of facade or part of yourself where you have like a strong security within yourself, there's also like you are exhausted underneath this. With the Nine of Wands and the Four of Swords, is that you are like resting and healing underneath this, and are also experiencing probably a lot of anxiety, and overthinking things. Like you could be the kind of person where you're good with people and you like get along with them, but it actually takes a lot of effort for you to get along with people. Maybe going back to like the people pleasing tendencies, like you're really trying and you're really good at showing that you're not trying, like, oh, I'm not putting effort into this, but they can kind of sense like, oh, there is actually like quite a bit of like of their energy and effort, that they're putting into socializing with me or with other people, or just like in life in general. I think they also get the impression that you're going through maybe more like solo time of life. They could tell that you have like single energy or something like that, or you're maybe just kind of going through a dark night of the soul situation, or you're going through something that requires you to be very reflective and in your own space, and having to be by yourself because for whatever reason other people can't be there for you to get through it or for you to like progress through something. They could also just sense that you're a bit of like a lonely soul, that it's hard for you to actually really feel seen and feel connected to people, even despite the fact that you are actually really looked up to and people like you and you get along with people, connect with people, you could kind of sense that there is like this doubt within yourself where you just feel like you're always gonna be alone and on this journey alone. Yeah, I think they can tell that you're very comfortable with being alone, being independent. There's just like a lot of mixed feelings and energy within your energy and like in how they're perceiving you. Like there's a lot of contradicting signs that they're getting or like intuitive things that they're gathering. And it's that you're super comfortable with yourself, but then you're also like super anxious about people or like how people perceive you. They could kind of see that you are anxious about how they are perceiving you. Because maybe around like new people, you just get very like in your head about it and you're like, how am I being perceived right now? Like, I need to prove to them that like I'm a cool person, you know? Yeah, but I think they can tell that you're actually like quite tired underneath, or that you just have like a softer side underneath that hasn't been exposed to them yet, but perhaps they want to see more of, or they just are aware that your softer, slower, more gentler side is there, but there just hasn't been a situation or an environment for it to be revealed. I have like two last cards. I have the Primrose card, that's youthful love. And the code is, if I had a single flower for every time I think of you, I could walk forever in my garden. So yeah, I think they can tell that there's a very youthful presence about you, whether you're that young or not, or whether that you're older or younger than them, doesn't matter. And they can also see with we have the Mount of Venus card that you are very enthusiastic in nature, you're very loving in nature, you're a very caring person, and you're like one to really try to enjoy life to the fullest and like have a happy fun time and joke around and stuff. That's very like youthful to them, just like joking around, like being silly and stupid. Yeah, running around like a toddler. I don't know, like just being very much in the present moment and not caring what people think. I think that's really the energy that you exude, and that's what they're picking up on. So yeah, you're just like a very like magnetic kind of person, is what they notice, is that you have like duality to you, and there are many sides to you, and they're all very like appealing, very like genuine sides to you. And they can tell that a lot of people appreciate you. So yeah, that's what I'm getting on what their first impressions are of you are. Let me know if that resonated at all. And I will see you in the next little cozy reading. Okay, bye.